Hello, Valerie from BabywiseMom.com talking with you today all about your baby's 12th month. This is weeks 48 to 52. Your baby will start out as an 11-month-old and end as a 12-month-old. This can be a really exciting and yet emotional month for you as your baby is coming up on 1 year old. Before we go any further, be sure to like this video and follow my channel. Let's start by talking about eat. Your baby will still have 3 to 4 liquid feedings each day and 3 solid feedings each day, along with an optional snack. So for example, your baby might eat at 7, 11, 3, and 7. So that means that all of those times your baby will have a liquid feeding, and also at 3 of those times your baby will have a solid feeding, and you might at the 4th time do a snack. With your solids, you might feed your baby purees, or you might give your baby foods to eat if you do baby-led weaning. You can also kind of hybrid that where you feed your baby some purees, and then after the puree feeding, you give your baby some snacks or solid foods to eat at the high chair. Something else that might be on your mind this month is weaning from breastfeeding if you're still breastfeeding. So some people will start weaning now and be done completely by 12 months old. Some people don't start to wean until 12 months or later. So it's up to you for what you would like to do, but you might want to start thinking about that. A really great way to wean so that you don't get engorged and in pain is to drop 1 feeding a day each week. So you might drop the 3 o'clock breastfeeding time and replace that with a bottle or a sippy cup. It's great to go to a sippy cup if your baby will, because then that's one less thing to wean from. And then next week you would drop another one of those feedings, and then next week another one, and then the final week your last one. And that helps your body gradually wean, which really helps prevent engorgement. Next, let's talk about wake. So most babies this age will be awake for 2 to 2.5 hours before the first nap, and then 2 to 2.5 hours before the second nap, and then awake until bedtime from that point. You want to make sure you still have independent playtime each day. You can have that once a day, or you can break it up into 2 smaller sessions each day. Typically, if you do it once a day, you'll have it for about 60 minutes once a day. If you do it twice a day, you might do it for 30 to 40, maybe 45 minutes twice a day. You can also have some learning time each day, and you can keep it really simple. Just super simple little learning activities, maybe some sensory fun. I mean, even for a baby going for a walk and you talking about what you see is learning time. Next up, we have sleep. Your baby should sleep for 10 to 12 hours each night, and your baby should have 2 naps each day that are 1.5 to 2.5 hours long for each nap. If you find your baby is not sleeping well either for naps or for night sleep, then consider how much physical and mental stimulation your baby's getting each day. Make sure your baby has time to move around and get some gross motor activity going, and also make sure your baby is getting some mental stimulation. That will really help your baby sleep well. Let's talk about milestones. Very exciting. A lot of things can be happening at this age. As always, remember, babies learn milestones at their own pace. So your baby might be ahead of some of these milestones, and your baby might be behind on some of these milestones. Also, something interesting to note is oftentimes babies will pick up a milestone and then drop it. So your baby may have been waving at you last month, and then this month act like she doesn't even know what you're trying to do when you wave at her. That's normal. As they focus on new milestones, they often neglect past milestones. So some milestones most babies can do at this age are to play patty cake, to cruise along furniture. Most babies can also pick things up with a pincher grasp. A lot of babies can stand independently, at least for a few seconds. Many babies can say words. Some can even babble nonsense constantly. Some babies can walk. Not all babies can walk by 1 year old. We often feel this pressure for your 1 year old to be walking. That's kind of more of a 13, 14-month-old common milestone. but there will be many babies who are walking by 1-year-old. A lot of babies can follow instructions. So if you say, pick up that cup, your baby could follow that instruction. Just a 1-step instruction. So your baby couldn't pick up that cup and hand it to me. That's a 2-step instruction. So your baby can handle 1-step instructions. And of course, another big milestone may be weaning from breastfeeding. And you might even be considering weaning from a bottle if you're formula feeding. As always, if you are concerned about milestones, talk to your baby's doctor. And that does it for Baby's 12th month. If you are looking for some sample schedules for this age group, as always, if you're on the blog, simply scroll down. If you're not on the blog, click the link in the description to head on over there and check out sample schedules used by real babies at this age. Thank you for watching.